Hello, class. Welcome to, I think we're in week 9, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's week 8, 10, somewhere, whatever it is. I think it's week 9. We're about halfway through the semester, which that's crazy to think about. I feel like we just started. So obviously we're not meeting for class today. You saw that email. Hopefully you got it. And we're going to try something a little bit different today. And let me tell you why, okay? So one of the things that happens, and I'm confident of this. I've been teaching online for a long time, as well as face-to-face. One of the things that happens in a face-to-face class is you typically have individuals that are very comfortable speaking up in front of the class, engaging in discussion. You have people that are willing to just kind of share all the time. You've got these ideas, and if you're like me, you kind of formulate the idea in your mind, and then you haven't fully formulated it. You just start talking and see what happens, right? So that's me. I'm just going to start with talking and see what comes out of my mouth. There are others that and this is that difference of extrovert versus introvert, that are going to say, okay, so I need to think about this, right? So the extroversion focuses on the outside world, the outer world, and the introversion focuses on the inner world, right? So I want to spend some time, because the traditional classroom setting obviously is Socratic, and the way that our courses work from a leadership standpoint, it's not based upon lecture kind of call and response. It's more, dialogue, it's discussion, it's interaction, and so forth. So I'm going to post some questions this week, okay? And I'm going to ask that you respond to them. I'm going to post some slides, okay, some PowerPoint slides, and ask that you respond to those PowerPoint slides, all right? So I don't think I'm going to do any sort of a voiceover, but I just want you to kind of read through some ideas, okay, some thoughts that I'm going to share. I might do some voiceovers. We'll see how it goes. And then there's going to be about 4 or 5 questions that you'll need to respond to, okay? So you'll respond to these questions by Thursday night, okay? So Thursday night at 8 p.m., and then from Thursday night at 8 p.m. until Sunday at, let's say, midnight, you will then engage and interact with your classmates, okay? So if I post a comment on a question, then you as a classmate will go in and you'll respond to that question, okay? You'll respond to at least 2 of your classmates, all right? And so in doing so, you will engage back and forth. So if I've given these answers, so pick out a couple things that stand out to you and actually engage in discussion, okay? Go back and forth. Don't just say, hey, great thoughts, period. No, I want you to actually go back and forth in conversation and discussion, okay? So this is going to allow some of you that are much more prone to say, I just want to think about it. Let me think about it, and then I'll process it, and then I'll share. This will give you that time to really think through what your questions may be. Okay, we'll talk about some current events. We'll talk about some leadership. We'll have some faith component discussions, and then I want us to spend some time talking about the future. So what does the future look like? Okay, and how do you think about it? And then we'll kind of bring everything together. Okay, so remember, you will engage in these discussions. You'll respond, and again, I'll put this in writing. Respond no later, okay, than Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Between now and Thursday at 8 p.m. They'll be in the forums section, okay, so you respond in the forums. And then between Thursday at 8 p.m. or earlier, depending on when people have posted, and Sunday at midnight, okay, you will engage in discussion with at least 2 of your classmates, back and forth. So similar to those if you've done any online coursework, similar to that expectation, okay? And again, this is so that people that may not feel as comfortable or as prone to speaking up in class, you'll now have a chance to kind of think through your responses, type them up, and engage in discussion that way. Okay, so a couple other things. I should have mentioned this earlier. I hope you had a great break. I know that this is another Monday that we're going to have off, but I think that we're going to try this to see how it works, because I want to give us, like I said, a chance to hear from some folks that may not speak up all the time. I also will let you know that your papers, your Wiggs-Stephenson papers, as I mentioned in the email that I sent out to you, they'll be posted as far as grades go later this evening. And once again, you'll notice that I'm going to put in there some very brief comments. Okay, for what I've seen, some really good papers. There's some formatting issues. There's some APA stuff, minor spelling stuff, but the content is really good and important. And we'll go over some of those more specific format and APA things next week when we get back together. Okay. Additionally, I should say that so next week we'll spend some time in our groups talking about these Laberton, as we're calling them, teaching presentations. So our experience in where we talked about going down to Pasadena, we'll talk about that. work in projects, come up with questions. And then again, we're not going to be going until 3 weeks or 2 weeks from today. Okay, so we'll look at that. We'll also talk next week about just mercy. We'll look at the Brian Stevenson text. We'll at least start to discuss that and talk about what our assignment's going to look like for that. So I'd kind of thrown out this idea that we would do some role playing with that book, and I think that's what we're going to do. So we'll talk about what that looks like as well. Okay, so I hope you are, I think we're about getting toward the end. I know we're not done yet, but getting toward the end of Labyrinth, so hopefully you're enjoying that text. If I can help in any way, please feel free to email me, call me. If you want to come by the office, I'm happy to meet with you. But yeah, so we're going to try it. We'll see how this goes this week. If it doesn't work, we'll try it again. But just remember that these are participation scores, okay? So you're going to give yourself a score at the end of the semester, and the expectation is that you engage in this content, okay? You engage, you respond, you do it on time, you do it incomplete, you be thorough, because this is just like what it would look like if you were to be in class today, okay? So let's see how it goes. Hope you have a great week and enjoy the discussion. Enjoy your reading. I hope, again, you had a great break. I know it's kind of hard to come back into things, so I thought this would be another good way to kind of ease in to getting back in the swing of things for class. So have a great Monday evening. And if you see folks and you're sitting in class, hopefully you'll be watching this video, or maybe you can refer the email and you'll realize, oh, we're not meeting tonight. So that's the plan, all right? So have a great Monday afternoon and evening, and we will see you next week, and I look forward to discussions that I'll hop in and kind of just monitor and, when necessary, engage in those discussions as well. So enjoy your time, I guess kind of off, not really off, but a different way of doing class this week. So maybe go sit outside in the shade, or go sit outside, enjoy these longer days, and even as you're thinking about this class, maybe finish up your reading for the week or something like that, and then we'll come back together next Monday. All right? Have a great week, and we'll see you in about a week. Bye-bye.